Alright, with JB Weld, you just put in 2 parts, or 1 part of each hardener and steel. I never know if I should have, I always make too much. Then I have a bunch of extra left over and don't know what to do with it and just want to go around and weld something. My basement's pretty cold right now, so anything in my basement tends to get really solid when it comes to this glue stuff. It's squeezed real hard to get it out of there. Now I'm not using JB Weld to put the nipple in. I will be using silicone to put that in. I just use a soda can as a mixing tray and a piece of steel, metal. Just reuse the same tray every time till it fills up, and then I throw it away and get another soda can. This stuff is hard already, man. It's too cold in this basement. And if you don't mix enough, you just come back and mix a little more. Okay, that looks pretty good. First thing I always do is I take a piece of a can, pop can, and I just seal up my washer real quick. Then I take my, and I'm going with the nipple up, I have to remember that, my pipe, and I just go in there and plaster it down from the inside. And I just put a lot in there because I don't care if there's too much down there. It just fills up the hole a little more if you put too much in there. Alright, my camera ran out, so I just want to show you. I got it all glued together. We're going to let that dry overnight. Probably won't post this until I have it all in there anyway. So I got glue running around the whole thing. We'll let it dry, and then we'll finish up making our different size lids. We haven't even cut this one yet, so we'll have to finish that up. But we'll finish that probably in the same video. I just will need to let it dry overnight. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye. While we're waiting for this to dry, and it may take a while, we'll have to pull the tape off there. Still a little tacky, I just checked it. I'm going to go ahead and move all this out of the way and start cutting my small can, which I haven't cut yet. I'm going to leave a little extra here, just in case that rim doesn't have enough lip. Then I can use the lip of the can to do that with. So I'm going to go all the way up to about here. Alright, so I got my other stove here that the base is already finished on, and my 24-ounce lid that's ready to go. I've actually done a burn test on it and it's working great. So I'll take this apart because what I'm testing here is to see if with the ring in the bottom of there and some sort of bunched up middle here. Let's put it together and see what that leaves us for the top. I'm trying to be really careful because this is sharp right now. Okay, so that's locked in there. If I put that in there, it's going to be way above. So I wonder if I just go with a half of it. I bet I could. I think it'll be fine. I'm going to go with half of it, as much on the centerpiece on the smaller stove. So let's just see what this big donut would do inside there. Obviously that would be sticking over the edge. And there'd be no purpose to keep it that size because that's what size that one is. So let's go ahead and cut it all the way down and see what we get. It's only a 12-ounce can. We can't buy another one. What I'm doing is I'm cutting it down as far as the snips will let me get without cutting into that larger piece there. So the snips won't let me get all the way down, but pretty close. That piece is not really necessary. If I could get it all off, I would, but I can't get my snips down around there to get it all off. So then I take a file, just give it a rough around so it doesn't cut anybody or have any dangerous edges on it. Okay, we made just a few modifications here, and I want to show you what I've done since our last video. I finished the JB. Whoop! I still have this full of fluid right now. I should probably be careful tipping it over when it's full. I just filled it up as a test run. I'm going to drain it out. This has a cap on the bottom, which allows it to hold the alcohol. So I went ahead and added the nipple in there and screwed it in tight. The JB Weld is nice and tight. Just did a little filing on the bottom there to get some of the excess that came out on the bottom. I put my center wick in here. It is kind of nice because with the nipple up to the very top, I did have to cut my washer just a little bit. I got too close to the top, but it's still a good hold. It hasn't leaked here at all. I'm having more trouble with leaking with this inside of here. I'm going to have to go with something different. That's just not a good seal. Possibly if I did go ahead and put some silicone in there, it might hold, but it's just dripping a little bit here and there. So I have to come up with something better there. That screwing into the top of there is just not going to cut it. Anyways, back to this. So in the last video, I think we had it all cut down, the plastic cut out, the inner circle cut out, and all we needed to do was, I think we even cut down our 12-inch top to the right size. All we needed to do was make our inner parts for all of them to get the right size out of them, and I've gone ahead and I've cut them all down. What I have not done yet is made a additional piece for the inside of every one of these, the insert that has to travel between. I have not, this is the last one. I have not made an insert for everyone, but I wanted to go ahead and show you. On this little one here, I did not cut the mushroom hole in the center of it, like these two have. It was just too small to get a hole inside of it and make it stay. It would actually puff it up too much. So our three different sizes, and let me see if I can show you that once I find out where my insert's at. Everything's a little bit on the alcohol side here because I've been test running it, seeing how it goes. This is our size 1. So that's our smallest size. Let's see if you can see all that in there. This is our smallest size, and I will show you that. I'm going to turn the lights out just a little bit. Let me see if I can dim just one of these lights, maybe. Let's see how that does for lights. Might be able to see the flame. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So that's size 1 on the flame. No top. Not bad. Trying to give you something you can compare it to in size. I don't really have anything exact to compare it to in size here. I'm just looking around. I don't see anything exact to compare it to in size that you might have a good reference of. Really, there's just one of my little lids to compare it to. So this size and this size aren't much different. And I'll show you the burn on that one now. So to do the second one, you take this out and you place that in here, and then that then screws down. Okay, I have a lid for these to keep them from dripping. If you take them out, that then screws down into the caddy, and it just takes a little piece right there instead of the mushroom underneath of it to get it all soaked together like that, and that's the size of that. That's number 2, and it's attached directly onto number 1. So it just increases your size a little bit. It's a pretty good burn. Not sure why it's burning so yellow. Nonetheless, it's a pretty good size for burning. This would be plenty for, you couldn't go any higher than this with a can pot, Heineken can pot or a Foster's can pot. That'd be about as big as you could go, I think. Anything larger than that, and the flames start to roll around the side too much. So, to show you the next one, I'll just unscrew that, transfer And I'm going to try and make one of these for every single one of them so I don't have to keep transferring it. And then this and this piece go back on my lid. Currently, and what I would have to do if I didn't have to pull a piece out is I just drop the lid on there and then find some kind of elastic lid to fit over the top of this, or plastic lid or something, same as I do with this one here. And I wouldn't have to transfer this piece if I made 3 of these. This now is transferred into the number 3, and that just lays on top of there. And screws right down on top of the current one there. And I think that's still full of alcohol. Let's check and see. Yep. There's lid size number 3. Getting a little bigger. This is more of your pots, your 600s, your 700s, 900s, I guess. Titan kettles, all those pots like that. It's a good size burn for those. And then, if you're going to go with the, it takes some grip to turn this thing sometimes because they fit nice and tight. If you're going to go with the, you have a cap on that one too. The big daddy of them all is this one here. And again, like I said, I got to take this piece out because I'm transferring it between. Let's see, that goes in there, that goes in there. We'll put a lid on that other side of there so it doesn't drip out the bottom. This one I got to fix because it came undone here. That goes in there. That screws on the top of there. And if I can get this sitting here right. I cut a new piece for this, and I think that's just a little too long is my problem. I cut it to match the old one that was in there. There we go. Just had to stick up a little more. So I haven't done this one yet. I didn't do that. And you may see, I'll show you what I'm talking about if it leaks here while I'm doing this. And I like that this one, compared to my old one over here, is a high nipple, because once it's full, it literally has a whole bunch of alcohol on the base, and will just hold it. The only problem I have with this, I talked about, this one takes a lot of alcohol, so this is for 4 cups of water maybe, I don't know, a big device you'd be using it with. You probably wouldn't even take this on a hike with you, unless you had planned on going with a couple of people. And you can see I'm just pumping it full of fluid here. And it's finally starting to get a little damp. And I think I started with a half, so I've got a little over an ounce in there right now. Ounce and a half, maybe. And I think we're damp all the way around and up into the top. So I think that's all I'm going to put in there right now. And there's a lot of alcohol, not only in the top here, but all the way down in the whole bottom here. That's full of alcohol right now. So, there's the big one, the massive size one. Guess you guys can see that, can't you? Yeah. And in comparison to size, you can see this one doesn't do so well. It's showing size here when it's like that. It kind of falls down there when the bottom's not in there. But you can see in size how it's comparing. And this was the original without the ring in it, of course, but those two are very close in size. I'll show it to you with the ring in it so you can compare it. So there are the 4 different sizes of this stove kit. And obviously you wouldn't carry this. This is just attached to the bottom of this one here. There. That would be the best way to show it, I guess, is with the one I just built. And I did build this one a little taller than the first one. I didn't plan on building it taller than the first one, but you can see it's about a 1/4 inch taller. It just happened to be that way. But there's our stove, all 4 pieces. So if I didn't explain anything, or if I got through with something and didn't talk about it, ask a question in the comment. Maybe I can tell you what I did or how I did something.